All right, top billing. You know, if we see some LOL, we got to get on it. Now, listen, this could have been drastic, but it happened, and it went ultimately the way of the good guys, the Washington football team. But this shit was hilarious. Check this out. Shit was like, bing! My man Matt Ryan got KO'd. He got KO'd from an elbow by Chase Young. Look at him. His eyes all rolled in the back of his head and shit. He was air sleeping. Come on, man. And people like, Murph, how was he out after the bink right there? You see it with the elbow right there? I think the elbow, something might have caught him up under the chin or something like that because he was straight air sleeping. Look, they're like, but Murph, he was able to still perform a football act. There's no way he was asleep. He was doing that shit not on his own accord. His body kept going. It was muscle memory from that point on. Come on, man. Because he was out. Look at, gotta go back. Look at his eyes. His eyes had cherries, lemons, and bananas all in them shit. Slot machine time. Come on, let's look at it from this angle right here. One more time. Look at this. I know y'all remember this shit. First of all, why he touched LeGarrette Blount, man? Bing! He melted just like Matt Ryan. I'm telling you, it's the same exact shit. Look at that, man. Bing! He was gone. This insurrectionist dude touching LeGarrette crazy looking Blount like that, man. Baya! Straight to the dome piece of his chin, shattered. Plexiglass running all through his skin now. Come on, man.
What more can I say?
Top billing.
All right, y'all. Wanted to wait until the R22 came out, but it didn't get here in time for me to publish this particular video, so we're going to have to do what you have to do. I'm not going to go into super detail on this one because, as you know, when you work with broadcast footage, your ass ain't going to make a dime because these dudes are on that ass trying to content ID claim and get the proceeds from this. So that's why you got to support quality content out there if you want this shit to continue to grow and you want it to continue to go as well. Make sure you send in your quality support to keep the lights on for your boys so we can keep this Washington football scheme thing going, all right? So what a game. I said Washington football team do not lose to the Atlanta Falcons on the weekend that your boy moved from Georgia to Bristol, Virginia with them good guys out here. Could not lose it. They did not lose it. And salute to them for that, man, because it was a hard-fought game. You went tooth and nail with the Atlanta Falcons, and I said Atlanta Falcons had a lot of talent on offense, and that showed itself to be true, but Washington football team also has a lot of talent. I want to know what you guys think about my man Pastor Heinicke here, right? He did a lot of great things, and he did a lot of boneheaded stuff, too, that he got away with, but what do you think about the long-term prognosis of playing that kind of football? It's very much Ryan Fitzpatrick-esque. They very much play just alike, so you didn't really lose anything to me because Heinicke is as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick in my opinion. Remember this, though. Check this out. Back to the basket play action fake. I wanted to know where that breach was coming from. Now I see it. It's John Bates right here. Was head up on Dante Fowler. Great job having an evacuation plan right there. Escape clause on deck, but, man, what is this? Come on. This is living on the edge. He's living on the edge. That man is throwing off his back foot late to the middle of the field, just throws up a lollipop. That bad boy is winding and winding up on that pole. It's just up there, just waiting to be picked off. But bang, Terry McLaurin comes down with it, and your boy was running through the Airbnb here all crazy. Look, this shit was nuts. Now look at that. What was this by John Bates? He was normally a better blocker than this. Look at him. He's trying to catch. He's trying to run with like a catch and shoot. Why is his hands turned this way? Get those hands into the shoulder pads and look to compete right there. That was just too easy giving up that. Taylor Heinicke had to kind of panic there. Great block here by Antonio Gibson to pick. If anything, though, it was exciting. Here's another one right here. They illustrated it perfectly. You guys know this. It's 4 verts, and it's going against a balanced shell coverage. You can tell on the pull that he has the right idea to try to manipulate coverage with his eyes on the back end here. But you have a balanced shell, so you got these 2 guys right here covering half the field. So what he's doing is more apt for somebody if there was a post safety in the middle of the field. If they tried to close off the middle of the field, then you hold that safety for a little bit, and then you could allow for that vertical play right here by McLaurin or whomever you're trying to go to kind of take shape there. But with the balanced shell, you may not want to throw that particular type of pass and trying to throw it a little bit late. And if you are, you better be able to gun it in there. So I always see people talking about his arm strength. I'm not so sure that's a big thing right here, but this was a bad pass. If anything, it was a horrible pass. I thought the game was over right here. He threw a pick. Make no mistake about it. He threw an interception right there. They just dropped it, right? Because he tried to manipulate the coverage. We'll go in a little further on that. But it's hard to manipulate coverage when people can squat on something because they don't have that much of the field to cover. But it hung up in the air on him right here, and it became a jump ball situation. And it's almost like the Falcons fought against each other right there and kind of knocked that pass down there. But that was a pick, man. But the thing about this is he has such little experience, you would have to think that he can only get better from here. That's why it's scary to me. He can only get better. If he takes and learns from these type of situations and kind of curtails a little bit of that Brett Favre that he has in him, man, he can be very good. You can see it a lot better from here. Look at his eyes. You can see him reading to the right side. Like I said before, if that were a post safety, that alone could have probably held him just enough to be able to get this pass there. But with that balanced shell, they're squatting until you make a move because they feel like they can get there. So even with a little bit of a pump fake here, throwing this up, and it hangs, and it hangs, and this is right 2 hairs here. He jumps that bad boy absolutely perfectly. But he has hands that are on backwards that have stone in them. He has those stonemason hands. And luckily, he dropped that bad boy because that was a pick. I liked a lot of these route combinations from Scott Turner in this particular game here. The use of whip routes, I noticed that on quite a few different occasions. Here's one right here to my man, Curtis Samuel, making his debut there. Cannot wait to see more from him. I probably would do a couple of things on him in this particular content item just to see how they're using him in the make it from scratch game, which I predicted. So you're going to have a clear out route by Humphreys here. Terry McLaurin taking an outside approach right from the front of this 3 receiver set, and he's going to be running an in-breaking route. But the cheese is made right here with a whip route by Curtis Samuel. Inside out whip on him. See it here? Heinicke on the pull. Look at it real quick. Left the man, and you know you ain't going to be able to get him in the open field like that, at least when he's that just 5 yards ago, he's good on that. So look at the route development coming off right here. The spacing. It looks almost like a new age spacing concept. You got this guy backed off of him, right? He's going to have a tough time to corral that in the first place to be able to stop and then kind of start with that. Look at the separation going on right there. Too easy for him. Whip that back out. Everybody cleared it out for him there. And that was all she wrote right there. Moved the chains on that. Here's another one that could have been problematic. Look at it once again. You got pressure coming off the left side, but they're not worried about that because they're expecting him to be able to get this throw off extremely quick, which he knows this. That's why he's kind of rushing the throw there. But I thought it originally they hit him before the ball was thrown, but he actually gets the pass off in enough time. He just throws with poor mechanics, and the ball's all wobbly. You see it right there. The ball's all wobbly and stuff, and it's pretty much right to the Falcons player. But once again, stonemason hands. Man, this game could have went a lot differently. Scott Turner catching these boys in man coverage here with this 2-man route concept. So it's going to be leverage spacing. Way too much leverage here for an outbreaking route from the inside for you to also bail upon the snap. So that's great recognition there by Scott Turner to be able to recognize that. Look at that. Too easy, especially with the clear out route. Nothing but space and opportunity. Going a little bit closer right here. We can see him still bailing at the snap there. So if you're still going to be in your bail at the snap and you're already at a leverage disadvantage, and then look, not only was he at a leverage disadvantage, he actually commits to outside leverage with that. Too easy right there. Hell of a route by, look at him. That's how you run routes, kids. Come on now. You know we got to do the technical aspect of this. You're pushing that up vertically right here. Look how he sharp, you know what I'm saying? Look how sharp that is, right? He cuts a sharp angle there right down the line of scrimmage. That cuts down on time and distance for the ball as well. If he could have kind of hit him with going in stride, he might have got a little bit more yardage out of this one, but hell of a route and great route concept against that particular coverage. Here's another potential pick here. This is one when I think Heinicke sees it on film, he's going to learn to just go ahead and read short first. You can tell this man wants to go deep and he wants to make the splash play, which is cool. But sometimes, man, you just got to give go what the defense gives you right here. You're going to have a whip route by Dyami Brown, whipping it out there. You're going to have John Bates come in on a drive route, and then you have a deep over route going on by Terry McLaurin, which takes a long time to develop there. And it is a tough route to throw late. You have to lead people over on an out route. You can't be throwing late where the defense is already there. But we can see right here, Dyami Brown was good. You have two men on one here with John Bates. A little bit of mix-up in coverage with A.J. Terrell here with the corner. Looks like they were in some type of man coverage, but he goes all the way over there. But right away, Dyami Brown wins. This should have been hit to Dyami. He's running flat to the line of scrimmage. Put that out there with his type of speed, or if that's Curtis Samuel or something like that, with these type of guys, that is potentially 6, or it's a big gainer here. But he waits and waits. You got double coverage here. Now McLaurin is open, but you got to lead him. You got to throw that ball and lead him. You cannot be late coming back to this because there's not much more room to go on the field. And once again, it was a great play by the defensive back, by the safety, but he shouldn't be getting hands on this particular pass right there. That should have been thrown a lot early, but the best throw would have definitely been the quickest one. Great job manipulating with his eyes right here. Reading deep, this actually causes the linebacker to pause instead of worrying about the crosser or his matchup zone right here, right underneath him and Ricky Seals-Jones. Just enough of a pause right there. And then, of course, you know it's the rest. My man in the open field, he's good right there, move the chains. But that was definitely off of Heinicke's eye manipulation right there. Play action fake, sucks up Deion Jones here, and then he gets splatter whacked too. Bang. He gets jackhammered right there. He's done, and then you already know the rest. Got a 9 in a post right next to each other right here from Humphreys and McLaurin. This was a good throw. I didn't understand how he got open against this coverage right there. It's definitely him holding that he did the same ball fake and everything, and him able to hold this particular safety in the middle of the field who's posted just a beat to get that over there. May could have rifled that in a little bit faster because the guy still did almost get over there. But it was such a good throw high into the outside that it didn't really matter. But a game of inches, man. But I want to see how Terry McLaurin got past this corner here. What kind of coverage were they in? Damn, he was just standing flat-footed. Very confused by this. Standing flat-footed with one of the better runners in the NFL, and you can just see the speed difference there. It's not even close. The post safety right there did get a beat on it. However, the throw being perfect, more back towards, like they're illustrating right here, back towards the pylon or aiming towards the pylon, helped that still be a completion. All right, last one right here. Real men watch to the end. Want to come back, do a little bit on the defense maybe later on in the week. I still got a lot of stuff going on defense that I don't like, and it's crazy to think the offense winning games when this should be a crazy defensive program that was coming for the number one spot all offseason, but not so much, you know? So on this one right here, this was crazy, man. They were flooding to one side of the field. You had a whip route outside by Terry McLaurin. You had a weird drive route right here. It looked like they were both just going to drive to the other side of the field and then a dig. So they're flooding one side of the field here, hoping something busts loose. But then you get McKissick here. It looks like Deion Jones was manned up with him and kind of got lost in the sauce here. A little bit of leakage out to the side, and that was all she wrote. Now this one is a little scary, right? Because you think about what was going on right there. He's good looking and going through his progression. There's nothing busting loose there at all. Pause. And then just, I don't know, just magic, man. This guy is just magic with it sometimes, right? He's just back there just trying to make a play happen. was going to scramble and try to make something happen here, and then like, oh, yeah, that's right. I got a check down on the other side. Bang. And that was it right there. Deion Jones missed that tackle. McKissick had just enough speed to be able to get it to the corner. They caught up to him, and there you have it. So, great win by the Washington football team, man. Looking forward to the next game. It's going to get tougher from here on out. No doubt about that. These teams are much better than the Falcons, but they got to play the Washington football team too. So, they get it all together, man. It's still an extremely talented team, we know, but it's going to really hinge on that defense. Let's be real about it. It's going to hinge on that defense. The offense is going to be a work in progress, but we can see what it can do. But against better defensive teams, you're going to need that defense to step up. But we shall see. All right, but it's your boy Murph, the Underground King, top Billin Sports, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.